Easy, whoa, 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 whoa. Gel coat gun right there, locked and loaded. We got some heaters running, so that's what you hear in the background. And now we got the gel coat on it. I want to call that stealth gray. Looks pretty good though. And then you can see where we started laying fiberglass on the sides. We've got 2 layers of 1.5 ounce mat. So this is the first time me actually being up in the boat with the hull complete as far as the main outer laminate is concerned. We have got the stringers, or the backbone of the boat, we call them stringers, in place, and we've got the transom. So we've got the transom core installed. That's 1.5 inches thick. It's 2 layers of 3/4 inch, 26-pound Coosa. There she is. That has kind of been a big deal. Looks familiar, you can see it, but now she's in the primer. That is the Interlux, the 2000E. You can see she is now lag bolted. That's a 4-inch diameter pipe glassed in at each petition. You can see how big that diameter is. I can put my whole fist in there. These are all watertight bulkheads all the way from the stern up to the front. You can see there's a whole series of them. All the foam poured. You can see that. That's that 4-pound density. And you can see we've got it all kind of taped off so the overflow didn't get on the tank. Pour this in, and we're going to start at one end. You know what? It's probably more like pancake batter. Go. I see anything I don't see anything I'm unhappy with at the moment. There's the entry. She looks good. We've got the Coosa floor down all the way to the back. Now these still got to put some fasteners in, but yesterday we filled all the screw holes. Sure does look cool with the floor in there. This is like right up in the bow storage compartment. Just like that. We want those screw heads just below the surface. 5200 squeezing out. We got a good watertight seal. And there's a little sneak peek. We're getting the bow deck put together. Still got to fit out the anchor locker, and we're going to build the gunnels. It takes a pretty good bit of resin. Get up on my baskets. It's a beautiful sight. Well, you can see this bow deck is starting to come together. We got those pretty radiused corners. The forward seating, we're working on the gunnels for this boat. That's the 3/4 inch Coosa, the 26-pound density. There's a shot of the rear deck. We're gonna have nice radius corners everywhere. Got our drains in the floor. There it is, y'all. Check it out. Finally got all the Coosa all the way around the sides. Bow deck. Tow rails going in, bow deck in, console sitting in place, nice wide gunnels. And you can see as you put them in series, you can take a series of flat pieces, and in series, you can end up with that nice curve. There she is. Now we just kind of mocked up the deck pieces. Y'all missed me trimming this. Basically, we laid these pieces over. So this is actually our hatch piece, y'all, and you can see I've still got to fiberglass it yet and everything. We're just trying to get a little bead. It doesn't have to be a huge amount, just trying to get some all the way around.
All right, that's the center in the front.
Right there.
Yeah, can we drop it?
Yep. We've got the rear hatches all fiberglassed, and we got a real nice radius on everything. Y'all check out these custom rod holders, which will also act as the gunnel supports. These are all made out of the 3/4 inch Coosa. We're kind of fairing in these corners detail sanding. First section of gunnel has been installed. You can see our brackets up underneath there, and we've used a high strength filler, and we've screwed down through this, and about every 6 inches we've screwed down through the Coosa and then the seam here, and then we'll come back in fiberglass. We've already kind of measured and checked and lined up. Got our little gauge here that's going to keep it nice and level. Yep. We've already got our big, that's our 1.5 inch cockpit drain, and then these are going to be the inlets. Those are 3/4 inch. Think you got it? Yeah. You can see we've just used blue masking tape, and then you can see how we've bordered that. Here we go with the 3M, the 4200 fast cure. We've kind of taped these edges. Mark is going to rotate this. Keep going. That is pretty tight. Here we go. I'm pretty pleased with that. And then today we came in here and sanded and resin coated this fish box. Now personally, y'all, when I'm gel coating, I usually like to do the sides first and then the bottom. There we go. Look at that. Dirty. Oh my goodness. Mark, show them that little gap that we put in there for
yeah, that's what I was gonna mention.
For water to travel through. If water ever gets underneath here, that is looking fantabulous. Check it out, y'all. That is the ring that we did last night. And it may be interesting to some of y'all. That's how we install this. It's 2 strips of 3/4 ripped. And we've kind of keyed or indexed these a little bit so one sits into the other. All right. Woo-hoo! So we have been fairing and shaping. Got this nice, pretty radius. We got our combings all puttied down and the screws countersunk. And what we are doing now is sealing the Coosa. Now that we've got resin underneath this, we're just gonna placing that right up to the corner. You can actually just pour some resin out. Helps everything kind of conform, and it measures out in cc's there. And I know approximately how much we've been using. Every day is a little different. And I like to usually systematically start at the top, work my way down over the corners. I'm gonna go ahead and start working out some of these bubbles for this mat. Always a little serious when we start doing this because we got about 10 minutes to get this on, and we don't need any hiccups. Just gonna kind of float it in there. Last night we actually worked on getting the glass done here on the transom, but we went ahead and wrapped this transom and this splash wall and kind of tied everything together. This boat's not going to have that little chinky plastic cap over the back end. We went ahead and just wrapped the glass. We are fairing out this fiberglass. We're using some of the Napa. That's the short strand. And I want to show you guys. I don't think I've done a whole lot of fairing so far on the channel. And fairing is basically just kind of a boat terminology for doing body work. Look how nice that looks, Logan. You know what that is?
This is the last piece.
It's the last. That is the last piece of fiberglass
on the actual boat.
On the actual boat. That's not the hatches. We still got to finish the hatch. But talk about a happy day. We've been fairing and shaping. You can see raw fiberglass under there, and you can see the filler with our cordless there. You see those swirls of color. The black is on bottom. Coming together now. We've made good headway, y'all. We've got the interior pretty much done. Check that out. You guys are looking at one happy fella. We have we actually went better this afternoon than we thought. Got it all done, all the way around, one color. Been taping off all of our contours all morning long. So last night we finished up. We're using an additive. It's from All Grip. That's US Paints. They call that Grip Tex, and that's a coarse and a extra coarse, and we mixed those. We're letting them, inducting them. We went ahead and mixed them in a quart of gel coat. You see our non-skid texture. We've come over that. We did a base coat, non-skid, and then the gel coat with wax. Painting myself into a corner here. We are done rolling the final coat with wax, and Mark is very carefully pulling the masking tape. Just want to be real careful. We're going with the 1 7/8" tall by 1 1/16" wide. That is the kit that we're using. It's a 70-foot kit, and we're picking right back up. We can see our last screw is right there. There's our next screw hole. I'm gonna go on to the next one. There we are. We've got our holes here that we've drilled previously. Usually like to test fit everything. It's okay if it's a nice snug fit. I guess we have to worry about those blocks.
Yeah, to go over them.
Here we go. Look at there, everybody. Beautiful trailer. Got the trolling motor mount. We got this really nice Gemlux cleats, and the whole interior of the boat right now pretty much emptied out. Even got the really nice, the scupper drains, the deck drains. Voila! Oh my gosh. And they've got bushings in them so that when you're setting your drill bit through there, it makes sure that you are 90 degrees to the transom. Okay, y'all, so we went ahead and we hooked the harness up to the engine. Positive has got a little red dot on there. Ground is on the block. You could probably bump it down one time. Woo. There they are, guys. Two brand new Yamaha 150s. We've got them bolted. You can see a nice fat bead of silicone. Yep, there they are, crew. We've got the Yamahas installed. We actually took them into the dealership yesterday, and they did what they call the PDI on that. So we hung these motors, and then they routed everything and made all the connections. Yep, there you go. Battery switches installed. So we got those all fit. You'll notice we got two on the port side, one on the starboard. That's because we got a trolling motor on the lower one, and then port and starboard engines. And not only do we have them installed, but we've got them wired in place. And there is our battery bank. Let me see if I can shed a little light on this. 5 batteries total, 3 forward for the trolling motor, port and starboard for the engine. We've also got all the rod holders installed since you guys seen last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Also have the Minn Kota. That's the 72-inch shaft, 112-pound thrust. Got the wiring tucked in here nice and neat. We got it wired in directly. Y'all, you can see obviously we got the hatches with the new Gemlux pulls, the Gemlux hinges. We've got our rod holders. We actually pretty much buttoned up all the rigging. We got all the bilge pumps and live well pumps and hoses connected. So there we go, guys. That is the dash all marked out for our Garmin display units. There's actually the receiver that we're going to be using. You can see there's our Blue Sea systems, our switch panel. Basically, you got grounds up here. You got power coming out there. That's your main power feed. We got a ground bus. You can see our switches, the back side. That's our saltwater wash down pump. Yep, there she is, crew. We're on the new Buskins 29. I want to show you guys some performance numbers of how this boat does under real world conditions. Have about a half a tank of fuel and all of our fishing gear on board. Nice calm conditions. What we're going to do first off is just show you folks a whole shot. So from just a rolling start, we're doing 6 miles per hour at 1,000 RPMs. We're going to jab this thing with some throttle and going to show you guys how quickly she jumps up on top. If y'all are ready to go, here we go, throttle up. That was 30 right there. So not bad for a 29-foot boat with 300 horsepower. This boat could carry more horsepower, but the 150s are super economical. Now I wanted to showcase, this is where this boat is extremely happy. We got 3,100, 25 miles an hour. Now in the charter world and even in the real world, this is where we all spend a lot of our real world time, is at 25 to 30 miles an hour. You can still sip on a beverage, your hat stays on your head, your hat's not going, your hair's not going crazy. And you can look on the stern, over the stern, this boat cleaned off well. She's very, very happy. She's slipped off. I'm even going to slow down a touch more and show that even sub 3,000 RPMs, (2,700 RPMs). Again, looking over the stern, the boat is planed off. So if y'all are ready, we're going to go ahead and start incrementally moving up and showing performance numbers. Nice and easy. At 3,000, 3,100. 24 miles per hour. (28, 29, and 35. Well, that is the culmination of years of work, and we did design this boat. I am a second generation boat builder. We're licensed with the Coast Guard as a professional boat builder. So this isn't our first boat. Our family has built hundreds over the last 5 decades. But this is hull number 1 of our new 2900 Buskins Bay. If you want to go to our YouTube channel, Fish Bump TV, and see the whole build process, well over 20 videos documenting the build process of this boat, and we are very proud of it. If you like what you see and you want to come down here and go fishing with us, you can find us on the web at Island Marine Charters. If you want to give me a call, I will speak to you personally. Be happy to tell you guys what's going to be biting, what kind of fish we can expect to catch. And we can take your family or your crew out, and I guarantee you guys we're going to have an awesome time. I want to thank y'all so much for taking the time to tune in and watching the boat tour and performance numbers. If you enjoyed the video, the thumbs up, the likes, shares, subscriptions really help. We're trying to grow this channel, and the more you guys watch it, the more you comment, and the more you share, the more video content we can do. It's Captain Joe here with Island Marine Charters down in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and Fish Bump TV here on YouTube. As always, we will catch you guys next time out.